Hello. So today what we're going to be doing is going not fully down the rabbit hole, but I'm going to be talking a little bit. This will be, we'll call it the red pill real estate topic, right? So, and I'm going to veer away from real estate on this one. It's Good Friday. I'm here with my Scotch. And I'm just in the mood to talk money, right? So to start off, I am not your financial planner. I am not giving financial advice. If I'm your realtor and that's how you know me and watching me, then don't take this advice without me and you talking individually, right? This is just me having a Friday night chat session, right? Okay. We're going to start off with we will start with real estate. And here's what you need to know right now. With all these changes coming about, we got to talk about forbearances. Right now, the government has made it where they're pushing banks hard, where if anyone has a hardship based on this coronavirus, they have the option to basically go to the bank, say timeout, or the servicer. Servicer then goes and says, you know what? If you want, don't pay us for up to 3 months. Even at that time, we'll reevaluate. You don't owe us late fees. We're not going to hit you on your credit report. We're going to freeze the interest rate for that period, I believe. The interest may get tied back into the loan. Double check that. And that leads to the main point. Try and get as much information from them as possible. First of all, it's not a free lunch. Think of it as if you were back in the school and you had school lunch, and say you go there Monday and you don't have the money. They may give you that free lunch. Oh, this kid doesn't have money. Let's give him his lunch and he can pay us later. Tuesday, you don't have it. Wednesday, you don't have it. Thursday, you don't have it. Friday, what are they going to say? Okay, little Johnny. Of course, we want to make certain that you have lunch, but you need to pay us 5 lunches now, right? So are you prepared to do that? Right now, get a pen, get paper. My monthly payment is, we'll use easy numbers, $1,000. I haven't paid for 3 months. 3,000 months, that'd be pretty crazy. I owe $3,000. However, I also owe my 4th payment. That's another 1,000. So does the bank have a right to do this? Okay, Johnny, you owe me $4K. Well, I'm sorry, I don't have $4K. Remember, I got laid off. I'm on unemployment. I can't afford this. Then they go and say, okay, well, let's look at all our options, right? And we are hoping they give you good options. But from my understanding, they have a right to say, well, Johnny, you owe us $4,000. That's the option we're offering you. We looked at these others. We don't think you can make these others because you don't have a job. So you really need to get us this $4,000 or else we will do X. I hope they don't do that, but I don't want to beat around the bush. I want you to, being hopeful is great, but expect the worst is going to help you protect yourself more. So get that money. If you're not making them, if you're not able to pay it, find a way to get money coming in. Find a way to put money aside if it is coming in. Use this as last resort, an emergency, and plan better than they're going to plan, right? Most people are not disciplined enough to use this as a financial play to win from it. So be safe if this is your home. That would be my suggestion to you. And then we'll lead into, if we get into an environment where, let's just say the economy shut down for 6 months, everyone's going to be struggling, right? Everybody. And the government is going to just probably just printing this deficit out. And eventually we're going to have to either become in a hyperinflationary environment where our money no longer really can buy us anything, which is happening all over the place. I think Greece it happened to, Argentina, I think it happened to, but you'll see a lot of countries where they have just gone through just horrendous hyperinflation. So what are your plays? Where can you put your money? Because right now, the stock market had one of its best weeks. I personally would say it's going back down eventually, right? Because right now it went up just because we may be not getting more cases a month. So basically, people are feeling a little bit more relaxed because the government's stepping in, trying to bail out. But of course, that is going to again have to be paid down the road. Eventually, someone's going to go and say, "Okay, little America, you haven't made your debt payments to us for 3 months, 4 months are due. We're going to call in. What do you have backing this? Because we would like that instead." So anyways, that's where I'm going with that is for the forbearance, know what you're getting yourself into. If the government is bailing us all out, realize that we're eventually going to have to pay for it down the road. If that becomes the case, the monetary system is going to go through some major changes, most likely, in order to continue functioning. Where would it turn? That leads into things that this is more going down the red pill part. It's the areas I really believe heavily in. Okay, first, gold. It used to be that, gold and silver money was backed by that. You could take a dollar bill and it said this certificate allows you to exchange it for $1 worth of silver at any bank. We don't have that anymore. Same with gold. Boy, if we're struggling so much right now, I would love for Trump just to say, you know what, amongst all this craziness, we're going to go ahead and do an audit of Fort Knox too, right? Right now, I don't think, and this is me just guessing, but I don't think America has the gold. This is what I do know. Russia has the gold. Like China and Russia both have been loading up on gold. Russia pretty much has no debt to other countries. You can't say that about almost any other country. Russia has a lot of natural resources. So anyways, so now money changes hands, in the most volatile of economies, wealth changes hands the most. Well, it changes hands from person to person. It changes hands from corporation to corporation. It changes hands country to country. So, we keep hearing China in the news. My suggestion is go look at Russia. See if you think they could be a strong financial player. I believe they will be. I won't blame that. I really don't know. But I am trying to get as much gold as I can. And then cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency, as weird as it is, let's just call it a leveraged gold, right? Cryptocurrency is designed to be a better monetary system than a national currency system is, right? Because the US dollar, we've been lucky in that we are, it's the petrodollar, and everyone has to go through the dollar. So basically, every time they exchange hands, we're like just taking a little piece of the pie. So, we're a 70% consumer nation, right? That's what our economy is built on. But really, I would say it's not. Our nation has been built on taking a little piece of the pie, getting the VIG from all the international transactions taking place. Because we keep creating money, we keep sending it out, money becomes worth a little bit less each day. Now, through all this printing, it's going to become a lot less valuable each day. But these other countries have to get our dollar. So basically, we are exporting inflation is how we've become such a rich country. And when they no longer want the dollar, I don't know what's going to happen, guys. So someone is going to create a currency, or there's a good chance someone will try to base a currency with being gold backed. Actually, China and Russia right now, from my understanding, they're trying to trade together. China is going to Russia for the oil, and the currency, instead of saying let's exchange in dollars, they're creating like a yuan backed by gold currency. So they're like, listen, you don't trust us. If you think our money's going to nothing, then use it to claim our gold, right? So I think India has some gold, but China and Russia probably are two of the countries with the most gold stashes. So just as a side note, if you're into this kind of stuff, take a look at Russia. You know, if there was anyone at play right now who is going to try to make this a power play, I would think it's Russia. Here's the other thing: Russia and Saudi Arabia, maybe it's Iran. I'm not certain. Not very good with the oil countries, but they've been having, they call it a price war, right? I don't really believe that's what's going on. They're having the price war because right now, like both of those countries could operate like if it was $7 a barrel for oil, they could survive that environment. They could probably still make money off of that. The way the United States fracks for oil, the cost is so high. Yes, we can get oil, but it costs so much to create it that our fracking companies would go out of business, and they know that. So it's just a good old, let's drop the price, put a lot of pressure on someone until they go out of business. If our fracking companies go out of business, the amount of time it would take to restart up that industry would be a while. So therefore, you know, that could be something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. Again, I'm not an expert in this. I just read and listen quite a bit and try and kind of figure out what's going on. Cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are basically, if it's a government currency, that's called fiat. And fiat is really not backed by anything aside from the trust that that government will honor its debt. Cryptocurrency, you know, they don't call it a fiat, but it's not gold backed. It could be. But what it is it's backed by cryptography. Cryptography is there to basically say, you know that you have access to your funds. No one can freeze you from sending those funds. But, you know, basically you're trusting cryptography on that one. But then like Bitcoin is designed where every 4 years it creates less inflation. So every I think it's 10 minutes, like 12 and a half, I think it is right now, Bitcoin are created in existence and awarded to the miners, which are basically the validators. They're making certain the transactions are valid, that who says owns the Bitcoin truly owns the Bitcoin, and that they have not created somehow, they've not created double of that currency or spin it twice. So they get paid for that work. Therefore, they can either save the Bitcoin, speculate on it, and if it goes up, sell at a later date to make more money, or they sell it immediately to retrieve the funds to keep their businesses operational with, I'm sure, a profit would obviously be their intent. So right now, that is designed to withstand this environment. It was basically created around 2008 after, you know, the housing crash and the financial markets, some people thought almost froze, almost ceased to work correctly. So it's designed for this type of environment. So if you speculate, I believe it has room to go much higher. I believe as a type of currency, it's a better currency than the US dollar, because when you can create as much as you want, you're cannibalizing your own, you know, money. And that's not, you know, if no one really wants it because it takes so much of it to buy anything. I mean, just imagine if all of a sudden tomorrow the economy changed and you had to exchange all your dollar bills for pennies. And you had to run around and say, okay, I want to buy a new car, you know, that's, let's say it's $25,000. Okay, so how many pennies would that be? You have to like load up, have your own truck just to carry your pennies around to be able to buy the vehicle. I mean, it just wouldn't make sense, right? And the way that our government's printing money, the wheelbarrow is a good investment, guys. So anyways, cryptocurrency, if you don't know anything about it, go learn about it. It's fascinating. Don't let it intimidate you. Just try to start off small. If you want to reach out to me, if you really get serious of, I'm curious in this cryptocurrency thing, I'm happy to talk to you about it. I would try and tell you, if you have money set aside, try and buy some gold. Even if you buy it at the wrong place, pay too much, who cares? You know, it's probably going to be worth what you paid for it in a couple of weeks or a month anyways with the environment we're in. But buy it so you know how to buy it, you know, hold it so you know how to store it, you know. So gold, cryptocurrencies, I think are going to do really good in this environment. I think from a country standpoint, Russia's going to do really well. And now this is me just speaking out of my butt really right now, but it's something. I remember there was a video I saw where Russia invited Vitalik there and basically said, please, you know, we want you to come back and be a Russian citizen. And basically it's pretty much saying you'll live like a king here because they know his worth. And Russia is very interested in the cryptocurrency space. And I believe the next wars are going to be wars on cryptocurrencies. You know, different countries are going to issue their own cryptocurrencies. They're going to have their own blockchains. They're probably going to try to hack each other's currencies to try to devalue it. If Vitalik is creating a currency for Russia, which is, I think, their intent, or Russia adopts an Ethereum or a Bitcoin, that's where I would want a little bit of money, you know, because that could take off. So anyways, those are just some of my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day. Have a good night. It's Good Friday, so hope you enjoy your Good Friday and have a wonderful Easter.